42 years after a Utica native was murdered in Miami, Florida, her family here in central New York finally has the closure they've been searching for. Here's News Channel 2's Gary Liberatore, who has been covering this story for us the past 3 years.
Brian Pantola wipes away tears Sunday morning at his kitchen table in Clayville. He had just returned home Saturday evening after attending the sentencing of the man who murdered his sister 42 years ago in Miami, Florida. At that sentencing on Friday, Brian Pantola gave a victim impact statement, and he looked right at 78-year-old Alan Bregman.
You took her life, and it wasn't yours to take.
And he looked right at you?
I was staring him in his face.
Bregman was convicted in April of the 1977 murder of Pantola's sister, Deborah Pantola Clark. Clark moved to Miami from Utica in the mid-70s and was in a relationship with Bregman in 1977 while he was still married. Bregman, a wealthy real estate broker, bought a condo for Deborah so he and she could be together, as he promised Deborah he was going to leave his wife. And it was in that condo that he shot, strangled, and beat Deborah to death, getting away with it for 42 years. On Friday, Miami-Dade Circuit Judge Dava Tunis sentenced Bregman to life in prison after hearing from Pantola and his family members, as well as the family members of Alan Bregman.
She was considerate to his family, and she said, you know, I understand everyone that read these statements and your behalf, and you were a model citizen afterwards, and this and that. But, you know, you got to live your life, and you got to actually have a second life. And for 42 years, you know, he was able to do things with the community, and she goes, but, you know, Debbie never got that opportunity. You know, you took her life.
This case is now the oldest cold case in Miami history ever to be solved. And as Brian Pantola wears the hospital ID of Deborah, who worked as a nurse at Coral Gables Hospital, he says Deborah and his entire family are now at peace, although it has taken 42 years to get there. And this latest chapter, many of our viewers may remember, began in early 2016 when I was eating at Zeb's in New Hartford. And Brian came up to me and said, you may want to talk to these two detectives up from Miami who had just told him that they were reopening the murder case of his sister after DNA evidence on Deborah's body matched Alan Bregman's.
I feel lighter.
Yeah.
I may not look like I'm lighter, but I feel lighter.
Wow, what a weight.
Yeah, you know, 3.5 years ago when we came and interrupted you while you were eating your meal at Zeb's, and how serendipitous now that they're closing today on the day that we got the closure. So there's a lot of closure all the way around.
Yeah.
In Clayville, Gary Liberatore, News Channel 2.